honest question that I would like.
Tim, you can't ask him if he sins, bro. He's not a believer. What's sin to a non-believer?
Okay, then I sure. Okay, then let me say something different. Do you believe in good and evil? Do you commit evil, or do you commit good? Do you do any of those things? Do you believe in those things, right? Or morality?
Brother, how can that's the same thing? You're asking them the same thing. It's all subjectiveness to them.
Not necessarily.
It's relative, rather. Let me say that. It's relative, not subjective.
My whole thing is that I probably don't believe in those concepts the same way that you do, in the sense that I'm not convinced that there's like some external evaluator that's like evaluating good and evil. And then there's also
Tim, Ray, I got a better question. Ray, I got a better question. Forget about this because he don't know what he's talking about. So let me ask
very
you
well do you, sir. Come on, like why don't you like me?
Don't start. You don't know what you're talking about. You're asking him questions that doesn't apply to him at all.
You just interrupted.
No, it doesn't apply. It does not apply. He is not a believer, so it doesn't matter if you ask him.
It doesn't matter if you're a believer or not.
Son, if smacking cats on a Wednesday in the forest is like
yeah, what about that?
It could be that this to him is not evil.
Okay, sure. What about murdering somebody?
Yo,
or raping
you believe
somebody?
you can
Is that
murder people
evil?
and get away with it, and it's all right.
Tim, don't start, bro, because I will kick you out.
Yeah, I know you will, Isad. Like,
yeah, and I don't
want to make it very complicated. However, that's the same knowledge is what I would, you can even use morality, right? What you would be moral or consider a standard that you have in your life for yourself to be a good person, right? Would you believe in that? Right? Do you?
Take it easy, please.
Okay.
Isa, why are you always interrupting?
I forgot the question.
I'm trying to be nice.
Oh no, I remember. Okay, okay, and I don't want to yell. I said we're done with that line of questioning. It's ridiculous. So this isn't your show, brother.
Okay,
it's
according, I get that, but according to you, that's why it was a question.
Okay, cool. I'll bring you up once I'm done asking him these questions, or a question or so. So I think this might be a better route to go with Ray, right?
Smacking cats
smacking cats on Wednesdays in the forest. Okay, so okay, Ray. Let me ask you this: Do you think that it is just for an innocent man to die for your crime?
An innocent man to die for my crime? Is it just?
Yeah, is it just?
I would have. It depends on what you mean by just, but I would have a problem with that for sure.
Justice in the sense as we know it here in the United States. So if I committed murder and I'm on trial and they just grab some innocent man in my place, is this just?
Well, I would say not. I mean, that would suck, right? That would
right. So right, thank you. Right. So if cops came into your house right now, arrested your little ass, threw you in jail, and 10 years later or something, you got the death penalty for something you did not do, is it just?
Definitely doesn't seem like it. That would be pretty bad.
Brother, it's a very, very simple yes or no. Yes, it is. No, it's not.
Well, I would say no, but I would say no.
No. That's it. That's the answer. We know that that's the answer.
Okay.
Everybody knows that's the answer. It's not just. That's why if someone gets arrested right now, and we know for a fact that this person didn't do something, we will all say that this is an injustice. And we'd be sitting in front of the damn courthouse protesting, set Ray free, set Ray free.
Well, I hope you would be on my side like that.
Well, yeah, if you didn't commit a crime, of course. Yeah. So let me ask you this. If I committed a murder and I got the death penalty for it, would that be just?
Ooh. I'm actually not sure about that, only because I'm not sure.
You'll be a perfect Christian, brother.
Only because I'm not sure if like life.
I can bring some more Christians up here, and they can just. How are you not sure about that?
Well, yeah, I'll tell you. I just let's say you commit a murder. There's a lot of factors that go into whether or not somebody could actually be rehabilitated into society. I don't know. Maybe they just should be life in prison. Maybe
Forget about all the little
well, no, those are important though. Those are really important.
No. Hang on. I'm just simply talking about someone who commits a murder, right? Forget about whether he was repentant or not repentant. Forget about that. We can get into that. I'm talking about there was a person who committed a crime, happens to be murder. If he was imprisoned and given a death penalty, is it just for this person to die?
What do you mean by just? I don't know what you mean by just. And I'm not trying to be difficult here, but maybe just define it for me.
It's very difficult, brother, because you know what justice means.
Well, just, are you talking about somebody getting what they deserve, or are you talking about
yes,
like retribution? Is that what you're going at?
Hang on, brother.
Maybe if you just pull up a formal definition too, only because
I'm gonna look it up right now. Let's see. No, what the hell? Okay. Just behavior or treatment, a concern for justice, peace, a genuine respect for people. And similar words would be fairness, fair play, equity. Let's see.
Right.
You got egalitarianism, impartialism, objectivity, neutrality, lack of prejudice, open-mindedness, non-partisanship, honor, uprightness, decency, integrity. Wow. I'm actually glad that I'm looking through all these, because this is what Islam professes to be, is to be just, and Christianity is not neither of those things. But yeah. So is it just for someone to get exactly what he dished out?
I don't know, man. I really don't know.
So if you punched me in the face and I punched you in the face, is that just?
Well, I think that it would be. I wouldn't be surprised if you punched me in the face. I don't know. I mean, I'll give you an example. There are some other people that just have this principle of nonviolence. Take a guy like Gandhi. He would say that violence would be like unjust no matter what the circumstances are. I'm not. He used that whole principle of nonviolence.
Christians or something like this. Okay. It's very, very simple, man. I can see why you're confused, man. And I'm not like making fun of you or nothing like that. That's definitely not the point here. But yeah, man.
Maybe
your moral your moral compass is out of whack.
Well, maybe just go to it seems like you're on the side of an eye for an eye, and anything less than an eye for an eye is just completely unreasonable. And I don't subscribe to that belief. I think
but when you say an eye for an eye, you're thinking that we must dish out this punishment. I already said that we can speak about all the little extra things after. I'm just simply speaking about a person who commits a crime. If he is punished by whatever it is that he can, like, if he essayed somebody, you can't go and essay him. That's not how it works. You can't do that. But if he murdered someone, and he in turn is executed for this crime, is it not just? And you're like, well, I don't know if it's just. And that's
I don't know. The reason why I don't know is because whether or not we should just keep that person behind bars for life, whether or not we should give somebody a chance to actually rehabilitate themselves, whether or not that's even possible. And it happens.
Yeah, but brother, that's not what I'm talking about. You're jumping. You're what's it called? You're jumping the gun. That's what you're doing. We can talk about that. We can talk about that. I'm not. Ray.
You want me to you want me to say that some blanket statement is just or not when the only important thing is the specifics of the situation. Like, you can't just say,
this is what I'm trying to tell you. If a person shot at a cop and this cop shot him in return and killed him, is this justified or not justified?
Yeah, I would say that in that case, if it's like a self-defense sort of thing, that seems like it's justified to me. But that's like a clear-cut example of somebody trying to defend themselves.
All I'm trying to do is get you to understand what justice is, right? So Christianity believes that you commit crimes and someone else paid the price for those sins that you committed?
I don't know. What was your question regarding that?
I said, is it just for you to commit murder and someone else pay the penalty?
I would say no. I would say
Thank you. Finally, we're getting somewhere.
Well, that's a completely different question from.
No,
do we just go for it? That's a completely different question from an eye for an eye and all these other situations. The other situation you asked me was if somebody commits a murder, is it just to kill them?
What is an eye for an eye? What is an eye for an eye in the Islamic worldview?
It's not about religion. It's
hang on, Dallas. Wait. What is an eye for an eye in the Islamic worldview?
You're asking me, but I would rather you tell me. But I don't know.
That's what you should say. I don't know. Can you tell me? That's what you should say.
Well, no, but I wasn't even referencing Islam when I was saying an eye for an eye. Maybe I was indirectly, but I'm just saying you asked me two completely different questions. One was, should somebody else pay for my crime? And two, if
you pay for your crimes? That was the second question. And it's not difficult. Should you pay for your crimes?
Well, yeah. So that one, when you phrase it that way, it's simple because the answer.
How can you derive something different than what I said? When I said if you murder someone and they execute for it or execute you for that crime, is it justified? And you're like, well, I don't know. Maybe it just depends.
That's completely different from saying if somebody commits a crime, should they pay for it? Because what does paying for it mean? Does it mean life behind bars? Does it mean 20 years? We don't know. And so when you ask me, do I think that somebody should murder someone and should they just like go scot-free? No, of course not. But when you're not, I'm trying to answer your questions as specific as I possibly can. So when you switch up the language and you say, "Oh, when you say that somebody should pay for their own crimes versus should we kill them because they killed somebody else?" That's two very extremely different things.
I didn't say should we. That's not what I asked you. I said, listen to me. I said if you commit murder and you are executed, meaning this is what happens. You commit murder and you are executed because of it. Is it just? The answer is yes, it's just.
Okay, that's your answer to that question.
Right, I didn't say should.
Mine is I don't know whether or not it's just. And if you think that that's an irrational response to it, then you're just
agnostic, by the way, Isa.
I understand that. That's why I'm asking them these basic questions, right?
Yeah, because
the basic question ain't got nothing to do with religion.
I know.
I'm trying to see where his moral compass is.
Yeah, and the way that you're phrasing these questions is very strange because you want to ignore the most important parts of what should be involved.
Tell me what am I ignoring?
You're ignoring the specifics about whether or not we have any inkling at all about whether or not this person is going to kill again, whether or not we should just keep them behind bars because we're not really sure. And we don't know enough about whether or not it's just.
But that's what I'm saying. That is not the point of my question. I said we can talk about those things after we get through this. But you're like, no. We need to talk about whether or not he's going to rehabilitate himself for something. Bro, no one cares about none of that shit. That's not what I'm talking about at all. I'm asking you very simply, if you commit a crime, should you do the time? That's what I'm saying. And the time, when I say this, it could mean also being executed for murder.
Okay, well, if you phrase it like that, then I can be on board with it.
It's the same, tomato. You're playing semantic games right now.
It's completely different, your wordings there. When you say, because in the second version in which you just worded it, you left it open to whether or not he should do time.
I did not leave it open. I said, listen to me again, Ray, if you commit murder and you are executed for it. I didn't say, should we? Right now we can get that. That's an open-ended question. That's not an open-ended question when I asked you. It's a closed-end question. Very, very closed. I'm directing you to a yes or no. See, you're hearing should. I never said should. I can play it back for you. I never said should.
Well, I hope you do play it back because your phrasing is different almost each time that you do it. And
guys, I want everybody in the chat to please tell me if I'm phrasing it differently.
I feel like you should be more kind with your words because the thing is,
Dallas, don't tell me what to do on my stream. Thank you, Dallas. Thank you very much.
Sorry.
Am I Did I change my words? I only changed my words when you found contention with what I was saying. And then you said, well, you should say this. And I said, okay, I'll ask you this way. And I asked you that way. Should you do the time if you do a crime? And you said, yes. See, now that's different. And I'm like, it's not different. Yes, of course, the words are different, but it's all the same thing, right? If I commit a crime, I should do the time, whatever that punishment might be, right? So now I'm asking you, if I commit a crime and I'm executed for it, is that just? The answer is the same, yes.
It's not the same, but we should just move on.
Why is it not the same?
It's not the same because I can't evaluate right now whether or not killing somebody when they murdered is just unless I know more information. And so
you go to jail.
I said murder. I said murder. There's a difference between killing and murdering. A cop kills people in self-defense sometimes, right? This is not a murder. A murder is the intent to end someone's life. So if I intend to kill someone, this is probably the problem, that you don't understand what I'm saying. So if you go to kill someone purposely, right? You're convicted of this crime, and they execute you because of it, is it just? The answer should be yes. It's just.